Joining us now is Steve Young. If you go to WPGTalkRadio.com last night, after our national appearance, we wrote a piece because the mayor of Atlantic City did a press conference, and he teed off on Steve Young pretty well in it, because he efforted all weekend and into this week to put together, according to Mayor Small, all of these working partners that Steve Young had said he's never had an opportunity to be at the table with them: CRDA, Casino Hotel Association of New Jersey, Atlanticare, who am I leaving out? Tanger Outlets. It's all off the top of my head. And Steve Young is here to speak for himself. Hey, Steve, welcome back. How you doing this morning?
Oh, how you doing?
Good. So let me get one thing right out of the way, because you know how I work. If I get something right, it stands. If I get something wrong, I correct it. Because I didn't have the opportunity to speak to you, but I had the mayor's comments on the topic. He set this meeting up with all these different major players. I've been told that at your request, because he was looking to try to mitigate this thing and to appease you, to try to make this not happen, because I don't think anybody wants the city of Atlantic City to be shut down on Saturday, July 4th. When this all was assembled, is it true? The mayor says it is. Is it true that you asked him to leave the meeting? You did not want him to be in the meeting. You just wanted to meet with all these folks in his office. Is that how it went?
I'm calling to talk about the 4th of July protest and the update.
You mean I can't ask you what I just asked you? That's not fair?
Sure, I'm going to get to it. If you allow me, I will get to it, if you will allow me. Okay?
Well, how about do me a solid? I just asked you that question. That's either yes or no. Did you ask him to leave, and then we'll go to the protest? He says you did.
We're going to update everybody on what was said and what happened from 5 to 6 p.m. today on a black radio station.
So you're not going to answer me that now. You come on our airwaves, and you're going to show disrespect like that by a direct question that is more than fair. I have been so fair to you that I have people mad at me. And then you're going to treat me like that as well. Steve, I'm going to tell you something. If you don't know this, you are on everyone's last nerve. Do you have that figured out yet? Have you figured that out yet, Steve? I ask you a simple yes or no question, and you say you were going to answer it. Now, I don't know if somebody's handing you crib notes or some kind of cheat sheets. Now you say at 5 o'clock on a black station, you're going to announce it.
That's correct.
What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
Well, I'm trying to. I would like for you to listen in, and your listening audience.
I'm not listening to you for 1 minute, pal. I'm actually going to be working at the 5 o'clock hour. Let the record reflect. Now you're a liar. You just said you were going to answer it, and then you switch it. Just like I'm going to believe Mayor Small and not you. I don't need to hear you say it. He says you said it. He's not a liar. You just lied to me, so you're already a liar. So what do you want to say about your protest, which is not a protest, because if your plan, and you've said it here and you've said it everywhere, is to shut down the city of Atlantic City, you do understand that's criminal activity. That's not a protest. You do know the difference between the two, right? And ladies and gentlemen, Steve Young has left the building because he can't take it. Steve, now you're a punk on top of being a liar. Goodbye. Listen to me at 5 o'clock tonight. Good chance. Good chance of that. If I wasn't working until 6 p.m. tonight, I wouldn't listen. I have the mayor's word on that. I'm going to go with that. Matter of fact, let me see if I, just out of nowhere, if he'll pick up. Let's see. Steve, shame on you. I've been so fair to you that the word fair there's not a word in the dictionary for how fair I've treated you, for how dirty and unfair you have behaved. And I'll tell you what, I can't wait. I can't wait till you get your ass locked up this Saturday. I'm setting an over and under, hopefully by about 1:05. Starts at 1 p.m. Well, maybe not 1:05, because it's going to start at the Public Safety Building, the Clayton Graham Public Safety Building. So I think that the 5-minute over-under isn't fair. But you're going to get locked up on Saturday if you shut the city down, and you should get locked up. You heard it. He said, oh, yeah, I'll answer you, but I want to talk about the protests first. I said, no, I asked you the question now. Why don't you answer it? Mayor Small, hold on one second. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if he had a chance to listen. I hope he was listening. But I'm going to bring on the mayor of Atlantic City, and I have a very simple question to ask. Mayor Small, it's Harry Hurley in the morning, and thank you for giving me permission to bring you onto the air, which we just handled off air. I know you have a very busy job. You're the mayor of Atlantic City. You got a lot going on, a pandemic. Casinos are reopening, and you have this threat of shutting our great World's Playground down. Did you just happen to be listening to the Hurley in the Morning program in the last 10 minutes or so?
Yes. Good morning, Harry, and good morning to your listening audience. And I would like to say that this is a first. I am going through a live car wash right now. So if you hear the water and the blower, that's where I'm at. But, yes, I did have the opportunity to hear.
All right. Thank you, Mayor. If we hear swish and swoops, we'll be okay with it. Mayor, I couldn't get an answer out of Steve Young. I'm going to ask you, even though I already believe you, because I heard you say it to me last night. You set up a meeting with all kinds of very important working partners and stakeholders in our marketplace that Steve Young was never able to get at the table with because he's not earned the opportunity, in my opinion, to get the opportunity to do it. But you did it. You tried to mitigate. You did everything you could. Almost basically, it's like negotiating with a domestic terrorist who was threatened to do something terrible, and there's nothing you can do to appease certain radicals. When you set all that up, and I'm sure they just hated the idea, oh, Mayor, come on, we don't want to legitimize this guy. I don't even want to be there. So you got everybody to come, your cred, not his. And it's my understanding, and I heard you say it yourself, but I want to get it on the record here on WPG, on the Hurley in the Morning program. Did Steve Young ask you basically to leave your own office and leave the meeting?
Well, that's part true. The meeting wasn't in my office. It was at the convention center in an executive conference from the Atlantic City Convention Center. But absolutely 100%, he asked me to get up several times, to get out, very disrespectful in front of people who didn't even want to take the meeting with him, but did it because I asked them to be proactive as the mayor of Atlantic City. But just in case people didn't want to take my word for it, you can ask Joe Doherty, who's an attorney, with the Casino Association. You can ask Matt Doherty. You can ask Michael Chait from the Atlantic City Chamber of Commerce. And you can ask the two Atlantic Care executives that were there as well. And my chief of staff, Ernest Corsi, and my constituent service director, Bruce Weeks. That absolutely happened. And what you saw with just now, once again, he comes on your show and he starts promoting himself. And he couldn't answer the question, which is part of the course. And listen, like I said, I'm done tolerating the silliness. I'm done tolerating the selfishness. And like I said, he's going to do what he's going to do, and we're going to do what we're going to do.
Now, if he succeeds or attempts, I don't want to use the word succeed because he's not going to succeed, because I know what you're going to do. But if he attempts to shut down the city, what are you going to do?
Well, Harry, myself, I can't do anything.
No, I'm talking about just you as the leader, and what will happen if he attempts. I know you're not going to go out there and make a citizen's arrest, but as director of public safety in Atlantic City, as you are, the mayor of Atlantic City, the chief executive officer, what is going to happen if Steve Young and anybody that's with him impedes people's ability to come into Atlantic City, or quote unquote, to use his words, because he won't say what it means, shut the city of Atlantic City down? What will happen?
Well, then it becomes a police matter, and our fine men and women in blue of the Atlantic City Police Department and our law enforcement partners, will do what needs to be done at that point. On another note, we've already started the process of removing him from the planning board. He's the chairman of the planning board, as well as the Citizens Advisory Board for the police department. And he was an appointment by former Mayor Frank Gilliam. He's not an appointment of this administration, and we're not going to tolerate that from Steve Young or anybody else.
How do you feel, Mayor? Let's talk about something positive. The casinos are reopening. Borgata, through their own decision, is not, but many of the casinos reopening today. So as you often say, and it's part of the consistent way that your phones are dealt with when citizens or anyone calls the city of Atlantic City, you typically say at the beginning of a press conference, you've said it many times on appearances on this program, it's a great day in the city of Atlantic City. May I help you? It is a great day in the city of Atlantic City, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's a great day. It's the start of, getting people back to work. Some people, due to the unemployment issues or other issues, haven't had a consistent paycheck in over 3 months. Some people are going back to work, not full time, because the casinos, the full gamut of what the casinos offer outside of gaming, aren't open. So we're going to watch this. We're going to watch the data. I mean, hopefully it isn't a spike, and hopefully we can move into the next phase and get the casinos open 100%, get people into restaurants so they can enjoy all the great city of Atlantic City has to offer with the casinos. So I'll be at Hard Rock in about an hour or so to check that out. I'm going to go to all the gaming establishments today just to take a look and see and be supportive.
Mayor Small, we have about 2 minutes left in the program, or I'd love to talk longer, and you weren't expecting my call anyhow, so I'm glad that you were in a position where you could pick up. In the 2 minutes that we have, when you worked all weekend and into the week, and all these people that I know didn't want to come to this meeting, and you intimated that a few moments ago, when he behaved the way that he did, and you were the one that facilitated the meeting, and he asked you to leave the meeting, now we learn on repeated occasions. How did you feel about that?
I mean, Harry, I was embarrassed. I mean, honestly speaking, I was extremely embarrassed. What's up? I'm gonna talk to you in a minute. I'm on the radio. I was extremely embarrassed. I set up this meeting like I stated. They didn't want to attend because they felt that he was unreasonable, and you try to get to the bottom of the situation, not going through an intermediary, dealing with the person one-on-one, trying to talk reason into the person, and that happens. I mean, it was a smack in the face. Listen, everybody doesn't have to like me, doesn't have to like my position, doesn't, even have to like me as mayor. But everyone, no matter what, should always respect the office of the mayor, no matter who's in there. And here I am, the chief executive officer of the great city of Atlantic City, and that happens in front of my colleagues, stakeholders, and everything else. I mean, he blew it for himself, and that's all I'm going to say from there.
Fair enough. Mayor, thanks for taking the call. Have a great weekend. So happy that much of Atlantic City that was closed is reopening, and we'll keep in touch. Thanks for your leadership, too.
All right, no problem. Thanks.
Okay. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay strong. This is a very, very important weekend for Atlantic City. And Steve Young, I know you're still listening. You punked out on the phone call. That was weak. I've been very, very considerate towards you, especially with the way that you're behaving, to the point that I've had many people mad at me because I always believe to be perceived as fair, you have to be more than fair. I've been more than fair to you. You're a very disrespectful individual. I'm happy that the process has begun. I'll be writing about it in about 15 minutes. Go to WPGTalkRadio.com. I'm in agreement. I've been pressing the issue, actually. How can you be the chairman of the planning board and on a citizens advisory committee, and then on one track, you're talking about shutting the city down? You got to go, Steve.